Hello, everyone. I'm Betsy Ross from Game Day Communications in Cincinnati, and thank you for joining us to learn more about the Catch the Wave conference coming up next month. With us are Kristan Getsy, the founder of Life's Eyes Media, also Sally Hughes, CEO and founder of Caster Connection, and Stephanie Burton, manager, Supplier Diversity, Toyota. Ladies, thank you all for being with us today. We appreciate your time.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Just want to start out with a general question before we start diving into the conference itself. Just want to ask you, what do you all get from your membership for WBENC? And not just professionally, but personally. What are the benefits that you have received out of it? Kristan, I'll start with you.
I can say first and foremost, connections with other women in business. We've had the opportunity and the good fortune to partner with other businesses going after bigger, larger creative and branding projects. And I've done that with other women-owned businesses. That's been advantageous. And then also, I'm able to refer someone that is a woman-owned business. Once they've given me their pitch, shared with me their value-add proposition, it makes it really easy for me to know not just about what they do, what makes them special, and then I can pass that information on. And likewise, other women-owned business owners have done the same for me. I can say that it's been interesting to find that other people are sharing the same struggles that I do, the same challenges, and then we're able to talk with one another, not just to talk about the problems, but maybe even find out solutions, that something has worked for someone else and they can share that with me. It's a sisterhood that I can't even begin to talk about to say how much the value of that is through the WBENC organization. I've become so close to some of the women and to some of the corporates, so much so that when there's challenges, I've come alongside them and prayed with them, and they've prayed for me over their businesses, their struggles, their jobs, their situations. And then I can say in the second frame of things, yeah, it's about business. The Ohio River Valley has allowed me to receive introductions to businesses and receive work from organizations like Macy's, P&G, L Brands, Toyota. Look, I would have never had those opportunities had it not been for this organization. I don't know where I would have met them if it wasn't for coming to events like our WBENC events.
Sally, how about you?
Yeah, well, I started my business 33 years ago, and I had wished that I had had something like this all those years ago, because, you know, it's painful to start your own business and all the challenges and, you know, hazards that you have to deal with. So fast forward all these years, you know, I've met, I think I've been certified for 10 to 12 years now, and have met a lot of women, not just through the WBENC annual conference, but through Catch the Wave and all the various lunch and learns that there are. And I would really recommend that those of you listening get involved in every aspect of WBENC. The other thing is that even though we were in companies like Toyota, Honda, BMW, and so on, before we were certified, it's opened other doors for us as well. So WBENC, you know, is not just local, it's national. So it'll open those big doors for you too. And lastly, you know, the sponsors and all of us want each other to be successful. I'm mentoring a young lady right now who I just encouraged her to get certified. So she's in the final phases of that. And I really believe, I mean, not only is she deserving, but it's going to be a huge boon for her business, I think, because she's got a product to offer, and I can help her navigate some of the challenges that I've had. So,
Sally, you kind of wrapped us up for that first thought. So why would you suggest that someone attend Catch the Wave this year?
Well, of course, it's going to be different because it's virtual. And this is new for me, just like it is for all of us. So it's going to be a learning experience. But if you look at the agenda, it's pretty powerful. And as long as I've been in business, you know, just when I think, boy, can I still learn? I mean, I'm learning every day, and there's a lot of really great speakers on the agenda. And also, I've always thought that Catch the Wave, this is called Ride the Wave, but I always thought it was a little bit more informal than the annual conference, because you can speak to, you know, people one-on-one. There aren't as many people there. So I feel that it's a really good opportunity to just meet people, network. I mean, it's going to be fascinating to me as well. I've been on some of these with different organizations, but looks like Sheila and her team put together a really fabulous agenda. So I'll stop there. I have a lot more to say, but.
Well, that's quite a lot. How about you, Kristan?
Well, for the last several years, my company, Life Size Media, has been very fortunate to manage the audiovisual side of things as the event producers alongside the event planners, partners in planning, another woman-owned business. And as much as I try to pass off my executive producer responsibilities when I'm at the event, I simply can't do that. But what this year is going to allow me to do differently than what I've had in the past years, as far as, you know, there was the years that we have had when we were at the event. This year is going to be virtual, and maybe we'll have a hybrid moving forward into the future. But because now I'm not the executive producer of the event, I am helping with some of the responsibilities leading up to it, but the days of the event, I'll be able to participate. I'm looking forward to sitting down and listening to some of the speakers intently. I know that the knowledge gained from that each time I've had the opportunity to go to one of the breakouts has been amazing. There's also going to be networking opportunities that, you know, people are saying, oh, it's going to be a virtual event. How much can I go meet a corporate, or how much can I talk to another woman-owned business? There's still going to be opportunities to do that. And so only because I had a sneak peek behind the curtain already do I know that that's available. And I think other women need to know, even though it's a virtual conference, all that is still going to be at your fingertips. And you can come and go as you please, which is a little bit different. It's easy because we're going to be at our desktops.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I will say I have a good fortune too, that some of the other women who are in business in our area have invited me to go alongside them at their location. So we're going to be still a few of us together, wearing masks, social distancing, but we're still going to be together. So we'll still have some of that camaraderie. But I want you to know too, these are some of the women that I've met at this event and become friends with, and people I can call up and say I'm having the challenges with. So I will suggest that people still come to the event, even though it's online, and still make those connections and be intent. There's going to be breakout rooms. So note that you can have those one-on-one conversations. So I'm excited about this year.
And you know, those are both good points. And from a corporate perspective, I have to say that I get a lot out of Catch the Wave because I get to learn from the WBEs. There's some breakout sessions where it's not teaching Toyota, it's teaching Stephanie. And so I get a lot out of it personally. I think if you can only attend part of it, you know, you can learn about some of the fellow WBEs on those breakouts, those seminars. It's so much valuable information. I completely agree with Sally on that. And to Kristen's point, it's not just about the contract. It's about growing those relationships and meeting those people and having those friends. And, you know, you may just be chit-chatting about your business, and, you know, from Toyota's perspective, I may never have an opportunity for you, but you put that information into my head. And when I have that conversation down the road at another event or with another corporate, and they're saying, you know, I'm looking for this. Well, wait a minute, I met somebody. So having those relationships and having that networking, and not just being about the contract, but being about growing those relationships is huge. And that is a huge benefit of attending this conference.
And Kristan, you talked about some of the expectations of this year. I'm sorry, Sally, did I interrupt you? Go ahead.
Well, I don't know how much longer we have, but I want to make sure that we talk about the relationships that we build with each other, but also the valuable speaker topics. For instance, we all know how important culture is in your business. And there's a gal that's going to be speaking on culture. And, you know, I can't wait to hear that, because, you know, it's just critical that through all this craziness and all the things that are going on in our world right now, how do you build a cohesive culture to continue to grow your business? You know, and I think that's critical. There's also information on there about government contracts, succession planning. Your business is never too young to start thinking about that stuff now. So there's going to be and ending up with a matchmaker opportunity too. And I don't know enough about how to get involved with the matchmaker because I haven't done my homework on the site yet, but that's something you want to also check into doing for your business. So I just want to say those things.
No, that's good. When you go to these conferences, and I'll kind of reference being face-to-face because that's what they have been before this. If I'm brand new to this, I may be a little hesitant to come up to you, Kristan, for example, and say, hey, I'm brand new at this and I'm kind of in your business. I may not feel real comfortable. So put me at ease. How can I really make those connections, whether it's in person, as we hope it will be soon, or virtual, like it's going to be this year?
Okay, well, first of all, Betsy, anybody should come approach me. I am very approachable. One of the things that I can say, I had an amazing person, because you can be deer in the headlights at the actual events. I mean, there is a lot going on and you're like, well, which breakout session do I go to? And how do I approach somebody? First thing is be prepared, right? So come to there with the confidence that you may or may not have in knowing that other people are doing the exact same thing that you're doing. They're looking for new business. They're looking for new connections. So number one, show up with intentional purposes. So that means showing up saying, today I need to meet one person that is a prospective client. Today I need to meet one person who can help me in creating my new business plan, or just come up very intentionally. So people who are already well established in business, my suggestion is, whether you're doing it virtually or you're doing it in person, is show up with 2, 3, 4 people or organizations that you want to meet. When I say that, what I'm saying is you might have Toyota in mind. You don't know that it's Stephanie Burton that you need to meet, okay? But you know, I need to meet someone from Toyota because I have a product that they need to have, okay? When you show up with that and you meet one person, you can say, hey, on my list today, I have that I want to meet from someone from Toyota. Do you know of anyone? And whether you go 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 people, somebody's going to know Stephanie Burton and say, hey, I know Stephanie, I'd be happy to introduce you to them. Yeah. Now, back to my good fortune. I had the good fortune of meeting Patty Massey from Micah. She is like one of the matriarchs here in our region, right? She's just been in the woman-owned business space for a really long time, been in business for a long time. She saw me with the deer in the headlights look at one of the first events I went to. She went up, she introduced herself to me. She said, I know that you're from our organization. Is there anything I can help you with? And I was like, I don't know. There's a lot going on. And she's just said, well, come on and I'll introduce you to a few people. So for the first timers, know that there's people like us who have been exactly where you are, and we want to do the same thing. We want to carry you forward and help you to succeed, because quite honestly, and we've said this oftentimes in not just ORV, but in the national WBENC, if we're succeeding together, we're succeeding as women. And so we want to help each other succeed. And I think that's really like a value add proposition, if you will, for WBENC, is that other women like to help other women succeed. So ask for help. And if you have a capability statement, that's the other little recommendation I'll have it physically if you're in person, but have it digitally at the ready that you can share with someone, because it leaves the lasting impression. Make sure it looks good and it has exactly what you do. If you need to know what a capability statement is, they're all online, but make sure your NAICS codes are the appropriate NAICS codes that people know, okay, well then that's marketing, that's manufacturing. They'll know the space that you're in, and it kind of qualifies you to be able to talk to those people, if that makes any sense. Sally, do you have anything else for the first timers? Like, am I missing something?
Well, I was going to say, because it's virtual, it's not like you have to have all the information at the ready. You can take a moment to step back. Because it's virtual, you can keep notes. You can figure out how you're going to approach them in whatever manner you think makes sense, but it'll give you a chance to think about it, as opposed to, because when the newcomers are there, I get it. I remember that. I was nervous too. And I'll never forget what a good friend of mine said, and we've all heard this expression before: we all put our pants on the same way. So, we're just trying to figure it out all together. And that would be my advice. Just go do it. Just do it. I mean, you took the big giant leap to start your own thing. So, it's every single day is a learning experience, and every single day is something new is going to come your way. Just keep good notes and figure out how to reach out to somebody. And if you can't figure it out, reach out to one of us that are already certified. We'll help you navigate that. Sheila and her team will do the same thing. Stephanie would be happy to do it. Kristan, you've already been there. You know, you will help. We'll all help each other. That's the way it works.
I have one more thing I think I should add, and I'm going to ask Stephanie if she'll piggyback off of this one for me. It's following the KISS method. Keep it simple, Sally, right? A lot of times, and Stephanie, you can probably attest to this, and I have been guilty of it. So please don't think that I'm like shaking my finger at anyone. But you see someone like Stephanie, and she works for an amazing organization, right? You want to go and say the 5,000 things that you do so that one of them might pique her interest. When in reality, there's one of your 5,000 things that would pique her interest. You need to do your homework in advance to know when you approach Stephanie that, Stephanie, I have this widget that I think would be perfect for Toyota or whomever else you're going to talk to. I know when I originally started, I was just like diarrhea of the mouth on here's the 5,000 things we can do. How can I work with you? I really want to work with a big organization. But when in reality, I've learned homework is really important, right, Stephanie?
Did you get a hold of my notes ahead of time? So the worst thing, in my opinion, you can do to a corporate is walk up and say, I can do anything for you you need. You're right. Do your homework. See if you can figure out what my pain points are and what you can do better than anyone else to help me with that pain point. You're right. I don't want to know the 15,000. I want to know that one thing. What thing do you think you do better than anyone? What's your niche? That's what I want to know about. Because you can do everything okay, or you can do that one thing great, and that great is what I want to know. And that homework piece is critical. Having somebody walk up and say, where are you located? Not such a great question if you could have Googled that really quickly before. And, you know, we don't have this travel time that we have to take away from our businesses to get to the event. All we're doing is clicking on a link on the computer. So that's going to give you a little bit extra time to do that research. And another example I give is, I have a lot of people approaching me with, hey, I've got all this return to work stuff you could use. Okay, we've returned to work a few months ago. Maybe I'm not the best person to approach with that, but you have something else that might be beneficial to Toyota. So yeah, that research is great. And then another thing I want to piggyback on what Sally was saying is, even though you may be a first timer and you may be nervous as a first timer coming to the event, think about it this way. This year, we're all first timers. We've never attended this event virtually. And I know there's a lot of people who have gone to the event year after year who are very nervous about the virtual aspect this year. So don't let your nerves get to you, because we're probably all going to be nervous of how do we make this a great, successful event. And I fully expect that we will.
Great advice, whether it's your first time or you've been for the last 10 years. Ladies, you've given us a lot of things to prepare for and to think about as we head in to Catch the Wave. Thank you so much for being with us. Kristan,
Thank you.
Stephanie, Sally, thank you all very much, and we will see you next month for Catch the Wave.
See you there.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, Betsy. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.